So yes, welcome everybody. We're here at the B-Side Hip Hop Festival, Break Mission 2018 in Birmingham at the Hippodrome Theatre. I'm here with a very special friend of mine, and we're going to do something for the first time, which is where I take you and we speak to some of the freshest B-boys out there in the community today. So let's get into it. So first of all, why don't you tell the people who you are, where you're from, like what's happening?
My name is Bboy Box 1. I'm from Philadelphia for longer. Yeah, I've been breaking about 10 years, 10 coming up. Yeah, I'm from Philadelphia, Monster Energy B-Boys, Mighty Zulu Kings. Happy to be here with my man Echo, tallest B-Boy in the world, freshest B-Boy in the world. Cheer.
All right, nice. So you're from Philly, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So what is it about Philly that you love? Yeah, what do you love about your hometown?
I love the grittiness of it. You know, we're very passionate people because we're very angry people. So, you know, it's like a dark place to grow up, but there's a love and a passion and a drive that it instills in you when you're really early on, young. But like whatever you're into, you're really into, and it's just like we learn to be individuals and originators, you know, because it forces you to be brave.
All right, and so how did you first get involved in the dance, or how did the dance find you?
Man, I was in high school. I was living in Delaware at the time, and then like it got popular in the streets. It's like a party dance style, like a party b-boying style. It wasn't like real breaking. It was kind of like a bastardized thing. So I got involved in that. We had like a really fast top rock, like ugly coin drops. We didn't really do freezes. We just did like flares and top rock, you know. But it was dope. And then eventually I went to the longest running event in Philly, The Gathering. If you're ever in Philly, check it out. Every last Thursday of the month. Yeah, man, I went there, seen real b-boying. Like I saw real like barrel mills, and it changed my life. And I was like, this is it.
Now, how long have you been doing it?
9 years, gonna be 10 March 2019.
All right, man. So in today in breaking, well, I guess since the turn of the century, really, there's been a lot of interest shown in events or specific dancers from events and corporations, just like skateboarding or any kind of other pro athlete. And younger dancers and artists, they're not also looking to be recognized within the scene, but also in the world of advertising, social media, and from a corporate perspective. People are showing attention to breaking. So I understand that you're lucky enough to work with Monster Energy. So can you just tell us how you got involved with them for the first time?
I got involved with Monster. I got a call from Gravity. I was in an Uber going home. He was just like, yo, you been training? And I was like, yeah, like, wow, what's up? He's like, yo, man, Monster, yo, like, we got 2 spots opening up, and, like, I put your name in the running, and, yeah, man, so, like, just make sure you're on point. And then from there, I was at Vicious Victor's house. I was training with him, and then I got a text about UK champs. Like, yo, this is going to, like, you're going to be on the Monster Energy team for UK champs. Like, it's going to be the first shot. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, flew out to Houston to train for a week, and then, like, the rest is history.
So you knew people that were already part of the team. So what is it? It's like a team of dancers from the same crew, different crew?
It's just a team of like the nation's top talent. You know, we got like Tata, Gravity, Jeremy, Moy, Zeku, Kareem, my man Jeffro. Who else? I'm hoping I'm not forgetting nobody. I sound like, yeah, of course. But they're like the newer guys, Pocket and Benji. I'm sorry. I was thinking about back at that time. You understand? So yeah, man, you know, it's just super fresh, man. Like they just picked everybody up like an all-star team, and you know, we all just had we brought our individual energies to the table, and we meshed perfectly.
So what does it entail being a part of a sponsored team? Like what is expected of you? What do you have to do?
We're really just expected to compete at like a set number of events, and that's what our salary is based off of. So.
Yeah, cool. And how does it feel to actually get paid for what you do and love?
It's amazing. It's kind of like the dream, right? That's kind of like what we all shoot for, to be able to do this like full time. So you know what I mean? Like I'm definitely looking forward to like picking up other opportunities with this one opportunity. You know what I mean? It's definitely like, as artists, we should realize it's a platform. You know, like once we get in that door, like with someone like Monster Energy, now that opens a conversation for other people because they'll take you seriously.
Did you ever think something like that would ever happen to you?
I want to say no, but then like yeah, because it's like my mentality of like yo, like when I was younger, I was real ambitious. I was like I'm gonna be the best in the world by the time I'm 25, and then like when you go through life and shit, like I just grew up to realize like yo, there'll never be a best. So like I stopped chasing it. I just wanted to like perfect myself, and I knew along the way like people would understand like what I was doing. I didn't think this would be an opportunity, but I just knew people would understand and feel me.
Really? Yeah, so in terms of just when you told your friends, family, community around you, how did people react to hearing that you would be part of this new opportunity?
I mean, they were happy as hell. Like they were just like, "Yo, really?" Like they've never heard of anything like that. We in the States, you really just think of skateboarders for sponsorships or like extreme sports people, Olympians, things like that. So for like breaking, it was like, yeah, like they want to put me on salary and put me on their competitive team. So it's like now I'm just getting paid to do what I was already doing, and then it helps me towards another level because like they pay for my flights and my lodging and everything. So it's like now you're just getting me to where I need to go to do my thing for free.
Are there any like cons to being in this new position? Have people reacted maybe in a negative way, or does it get in the way of other things? Like, just tell us about the kind of real life situation of being involved with Monster.
There have been things, but I'm not necessarily bothered by it. Like, there's haters, you know. There's been people that have, like, DM me, like, wouldn't you rather be sponsored by an organic fruit juice? And I'm like, yo, they cutting a check. Like, if they cutting a check, then we could talk. Like, other than that, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have too much time on their hands. You know, they're bored. So they it's the internet age, man. Everybody feels so accessible. Like, we could just get them at a touch. So, like, they have this random question. They might be feeling some type of way at the moment, and they just let it out. So, I don't know. It doesn't really affect me. I can appreciate. It's been nothing but positivity on my end from, like, people who know me, people who see me grow up. You know, they support it 100%. So, like, everybody else is just, like, people I don't know hating.
I mean, the product itself, do you drink it? Like,
I mean, at times, like if it's like the finals and I'm like done and I need that kick, I hit that Monster Energy, baby. You know.
Yeah, that's what it's for. So again, Monster, in terms of company and what its goals and its values are aligned with, you mentioned extreme sports and skateboarding or motocross or something like that. Would you think that breaking is also could be considered as an extreme sport?
No, but it does have sporting elements, like sporty elements to it, how we compete. Like, we don't have a point system, which is good because you can't really quantify what someone does with points, you know what I mean? That's when you start, like, when you get in that realm, you start altering the way people perform and the way people dance and express themselves, and that's not what we want to do. But there is a sporting quality to it, you know. I think they did really well with the Olympics and the judging system, like the crossfader that they came up with. It was really good. It was a really good way to, like, balance everything out, you know. So, yeah, I think there's sporting qualities, but it's not a sport.
Yeah. And in terms of health and lifestyle, I don't know whether you would consider breaking as a natural or extreme thing to do, but coming to represent a company that maybe doesn't also represent health in the same way that a lot of us do, being involved with a physical moving art form, how does that work for you?
For me, I just look at it with the same eyes I would look at like a Nike or an Apple. It's like we still buy Nikes, we still buy Adidas, knowing that they're made like cheap in these factories. iPhone's the same deal. It's like, you know, it's good with bad. You know, I'm black, so I'm used to people like already having a disposition towards me. You get what I'm saying? So I just want your money. Like, all right, like if you paying up, like, and you paying the right price, cool. We could work something out. But you know, always keep your integrity. You know, but just health wise, I don't. You know, I'm not promoting. I'm not telling you to drink it. You get what I'm saying? If you're in that situation and you need one, sure, why not do Monster? You don't need Red Bull.
But in terms of your position, they just help you to do what you do and what you love on a regular basis and get your check from it. That's great, man. All right, so you also mentioned another group that you represent called MZK. Could you tell us about them and who they are?
MZK, the Mighty Zulu Kings, the first crew to be established in hip-hop culture. It's started by 5 black brothers. I would run the names off to you, but I would have to pull my phone out for that. But, yeah, you know what I mean? It's a legacy. Everybody, if you're involved in this culture, you know who the Zulu Kings are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what we are. You know who we are. You know what we represent. For me, like, I got down just because of, like, tradition. You know, like, I grew up watching these dudes and things like that. So, like, they were the ones that inspired me. So it was just like a natural thing, like joining like my teacher's crew. Like, this was the guy that taught me. Naturally, I wanted to be a part of what he was doing. So.
And the Mighty Zulu Kings, obviously I know them, people involved in breaking, but what do they represent that's maybe a bit different from just your average city-wide crew?
It's worldwide unity and brotherhood, you know. I feel like it's very rooted in knowledge. You know, it's the same way like TBB. If you meet somebody from TBB, they're very knowledgeable. You know, they've done their homework. You could do the same with Zulu Kings, you know. We represent an elite force, and it's like, you know, we do it for the streets as well. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us come, like, I'll speak from my perspective. I feel like a lot of people like to take ghetto culture, like the products of ghetto culture, but not ghetto culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll look at someone as lesser by the way they carry themselves, or by the way they act, or their mannerisms. You get what I'm saying? Even though they mean you no harm, but you'll take what they create, and you'll take and you'll monetize it, and you'll take everything from it.
So, on the topic of street culture itself, do you feel that that's important within breaking today?
I feel like it's good to keep that energy there, you know, just to remind us of where we came from. Always elevate and advance yourself, you know, like if you know better, do better. You see what I'm saying? But if you have to embrace it. That's where we come from. I know a lot of people involved in breaking nowadays don't come from that background, and even in life in general, we've advanced and we've made progressions, you know. But there's still those ghetto people out there. There's still ghettos around the world, you know what I'm saying? And if you're from there, you know the energy. You get what I'm saying? So you got to embrace it and love it.
And so I hear that you just been accepted into this crew. And so where did that connection first start with you and the Mighty Zulu Kings?
So it first started years ago. Like one of my teachers, Candy, she's a Mighty Zulu queen. So just growing up, like my teacher, Joe Stunner, he has a real close connection with like Vix and Floor Phantom and people like that. So I was naturally around these guys, just meeting them when we would go to New York. And then like my homie Yaz, shout out Yaz in Paris, my brother. Yeah, man, like I would go up there, build with them, and then like they asked me to prospect some years ago, and I was just like, nah, you know what I mean? So over time, we just always been building, and I've just like naturally been like more people like born, you know. I just got naturally close to these guys, you know. And then last year when I did my trip overseas, like without even recognizing it, a lot of these dudes were taking care of me. Like Blanca flew me to Denmark so I could do a one-on-one and make some money. You know what I'm saying? Just, oh, bro, you're in London? Like, oh, I'm going to fly you here right now. Like, yeah, don't worry about anything. Like, I was like, damn, okay, cool. When I was in Paris, Yaz, yo, you can stay at my crib. Stayed there for like 3 weeks. He took me around, showed me the sights. I got to meet the people in Paris. When I went to Japan, me and Stead, we were kicking it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we won a 2-on-2 together. Like, we were just building, you know, like, so it was just a natural thing. Like, everybody I met from Zulu was like family, and they carried that family vibe. So when they asked me again, like, Ty was like, yo, man, just stop playing, man. Like, come on, man, we waiting on you. And I was just like, you know what, cool. Like, even Poe, and that was like one of the golden stripes. Like, Poe was like, yo, me and Taekwon been talking about you. I was like, all right, cool, like, it's done.
Yeah, fresh, man. So how does it work becoming part of the crew? Like, do you just enter, do you start somewhere and end up somewhere else? Can you give us an idea of the spectrum of Mighty Zulu Kings and how it works as a new member?
Okay. It's really, you start off with a prospecting process. You know, you come around, you build with the family, you know, like, when I was going to do my prospecting process, there was a whole itinerary of like events like that we got sent out in like a PDF. It's like had events, like where we're going, what we're doing. Like, they're very organized, you know what I mean? And they're very about family and about building, about supporting one another and having a general network like within each other, you know? So as time goes on, you earn your patches, you know, not just based off like how long you've been around, but like what you've done, you know what I'm saying? Like the dues you've paid, you know, and I respect that.
Just in comparison to the work you do with Monster Energy, do you feel like the way that something like Mighty Zulu Kings is set up has more benefits, or does it mean any more to you? Just speak on that.
Do you mean like the relation? Say that one more time.
So you just mentioned that you start as a prospect, is that right? And then you work through and they're organized with events. So I see the similarity to something like Monster, but is your heart driven to keep doing one or the other?
No, I don't feel like there's a difference between either one, you know. Like, I love all my crews, you know what I'm saying? Like my Monster Energy team, that's my brothers. The Mighty Zulu Kings, my brothers. Illidale Flares, my brothers. KRS, my brothers, you know what I mean? Like, it's about the personal people, you know. I'm very personable. I meet you, I want to get to know you. Like, I don't really want to have like that superficial relationship. Like, oh, I see you at the jam, you're good, all right, cool, yeah. Like, I want to know who you are, you know. And like, I established that with people. So like, naturally for me, it's just like I love all my squads. like that, you know. So
Well, yeah, I can. From an outside perspective, it can definitely look like that. You know, like I wouldn't know.
yeah,
You wouldn't know these things, but I think they're definitely things people want to know. For good, bad, whatever their reasons, I think it's good to shed light on any kind of artist, their journey and how they become established, and the kind of the marker points that have gone along the way to get them to where they're at. Because there are lots of kids becoming involved in breaking at the moment, thanks to the Breaking for Gold and popular media spreading the stuff. So to shed light on some of the more traditional elements of the culture as well, I think it will be very important. So, like, how close do you feel to the whole traditional side of breaking? Like, I mean, in terms of like actual style, you're breaking. Like,
oh man, tradition is what I'm all about, man. You know, like I'm all about foundation and style. Like, how can I put this? I try to format myself different. Like I know I have like my foundation on point, boom, 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 and then I start to explore. Like when I break now, I don't really like practice like power move combinations. You know what I mean? I don't really want to do things that have a name. You know, I want to explore. I want to create. You get what I'm saying? So like I'll apply theories to when I practice, like the atom. Like it rotates this way, it rotates this way, it rotates that way. So how can I make my breaking like move in those dimensions? You get what I'm saying? Like working with like geometry on the floor. I make the square, I make the triangle. Like I'm moving in just a circle, you know? And I feel like that's like the core of what we came from, you know? Just trying to think outside the box. You know, once you master your foundation, that's when you start to go left, you know?
fresh. So yeah, and breaking and other aspects of breaking, like power flips, combos, all these kind of things, but also like one's own flavor when we're dancing. Like for me, you definitely look and feel like a very established personality on the dance floor. You know who you are, and I think that can be why you're very effective sometimes in the dance. And how do you connect with that yourself and put that on your opponent?
I think it really just comes with connecting with yourself, understanding who you are, you know? Like, I take a lot of my lifestyle and I put it into my dance, you know? And it's a natural thing. Well, for other people, it's not a natural thing. It's something you have to learn. Like, I had to learn it, you know what I mean? But, like, once I got it, it was a natural thing. You start to live in it. Like how you said when we first met, like, live in the dance. You know, I had to learn to live in the dance. I put my life into what I do. That's why when I'm moving, it's like how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? It's like my influences, the people I saw, how they moved, you know, dancing at block parties and different like celebrations, and how my family would dance, you know, or how like we would see people on the block dance, what was popular in my culture, you know, in my city. So I just kind of took that and just really embodied it. And I took little elements from moves that we did back home, and I just added it and I incorporated it on every level.
What would you say to some younger people in dance? Like, how can they begin to do that? Because lots of people, we go to classes or workshops like that. There was a workshop with Menno here today. You only get a couple hours and we're all focused on the move. What would you say to people that want to start to work on themselves and develop their style?
I would say think about what inspired you, like, as an individual. You know what I mean? Because style is just a representation of who you are. So, like, I like anime, I like basketball, I like boxing, I like martial arts, I like, you know, a lot of different things, a wide range of things, you know. So I try to embody every little piece of that. So I would just say, even if it's like from a dance perspective, think about the dances you did that were popular in the city from like 3rd grade to 8th grade. Like when you were a kid and you were free and you just did it and you wanted to do it the best and it was natural and it was flowing, you know. Like try to incorporate those things. Like look into your heritage, look into like the history of where you're from. You get what I'm saying? And then start to just take it. You take those little pieces and you customize yourself, you know. I feel like that's where we kind of went wrong in a sense. We started to take B-boys and started taking their pieces and try to make ourselves out of many B-boys as opposed to taking the things in life that we experienced. Yeah. If you go from inside to out, you're able to receive. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't want to just be like, like stuffing yourself. You know, you want it to like naturally just, you know.
Where is the dance taking you now that Monster Energy is helping you get to places? Where have you been able to go and explore, and how's that affected your life?
A lot of the places they've taken, like they took me to UK, to Texas and the UK. I had never been to either of those prior to that. Places, man, I've been all over the States, like obviously, but coming here last year for the first time, I was in London, Denmark, Paris, Switzerland. Shout out Lausanne, Geneva. You know what I'm saying? Egel. My bad. I got to shout out all my peoples. Yeah. Where else was I in? I was in Amsterdam, Berlin, Aachen, Germany. Fucking. Where else did I go? Then I went to Japan. I was in Osaka, Tokyo, Ishikawa. Yeah, man. That was like on one tour. So that's like all my international places. And I've been to all the states, basically, like Boston, L.A., Texas, Virginia, D.C., Maryland, Jersey. Yeah, I've been everywhere, man.
Been around the block. Fox One's been around the block. And so, but how has this affected your life and your dance as an artist?
For me, it exposed me to like the fact that we live on a huge planet. You know, this is a very big world. You know, there's a lot of culture. You know, in the States, you know, you don't really get too much of that. You know, we're very boxed in, especially in Philly. You know, we're very sectioned off and quarantined because like the ghetto and like oppression and Jim Crow, all that stuff. So yeah, for me, it just gave me a broader spectrum of like what's actually out there, like what the social temperature is. You know, like where is people's level of understanding. You know what I mean? And it allows you to relate to more people, you know, because you have more to share and you have more perspectives and more experiences, you know. So for that, it did everything for me, like dance, you know. Like if it wasn't for dance, like, man, I'd be doing other stuff. I'd probably be locked up because I had a temper. You know, yeah, man, like I had a bad temper. I'd be locked up.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way. I mean, going to new places, it really does inspire you. It just gives you that different perspective. A lot of people talk about maybe wanting to travel the stars or different planets, but I've definitely got that feeling of when I'm somewhere, especially really far away, you feel like you're on a different planet. Like, and we can start to, like you said, receive those things from people, take them back to our own communities and stuff. And so, moving back to the topic of traditionalism, what do you do now within your community now that you're a well-traveled, established artist? What's happening now in your city that you're involved with that's coming up? Who?
Oh, so I've definitely started to try to get involved more with the gathering, you know, because that was like where I started at. So I really want to just figure out a way to give back through that network, you know, to build that up again, because we're in a rebirth point. Like, you know, the phoenix when it burns into ashes and it has to rise again. Like, we're going to rise again. Yeah, that's Philly. We coming. But yeah, so I'm just getting, like, as far as the B-Boys, I've gotten really involved with just, like, being around and being vocal, because I was like a ghost, you know, like, the last 2 years, like, if you wanted to find me, like, you could find me, but you would have to, like, hit me up. Like, I wasn't out and about, like, you know what I mean? I was just real sectioned off. I was dealing with a lot with my life, you know, like, just mentally I was growing, you know, it was a lot of pressures, you know, like, just growing up in Philly, you'll understand, you know, so I was very, like, distant. So now I've just kind of like wiped that off of my shoulders, and I'm very more involved, you know, like teaching people technique, you know, teaching perspectives, you know, dropping like the wisdom that other people have given me that made me better. You know, I'm just spreading that out. You know, I've got some young dudes under my wing, Mach 5, Rome 1, trying to get my man Josh Wizard. You know, he moved out the city for a little bit, but we're going to get to him. Yeah, man, IVU, you know, my boys, Project Positive. Like, I just been really involved with just like spreading what I have, you know, because they spread the love, baby. You know, like, I had to accept the fact that they look at me like I'm in a position, you know. Like, I was the one that did it. So now they're looking at me like, yo, like, they're asking me questions like, what do I do? How do I do it? So I'm just like, all right, boom, like, I'll tell you this, like, and I won't steer you wrong because, like, I just don't do that, you know.
Yeah, this kind of situation has come up a lot where as you get older and become more established, especially I see it in my close friend, Sonny from Soul Mavericks and Brkn Nest, is that you're kind of, without you noticing, you're flung into this position of guidance to younger people, just in the same way that you were looking up to people. And a lot of times you don't really realize it, because a lot of people can think, you know, you just show up to these jams and you dance and that's what you do, that's what you get your check for from Monster or whoever. But there's obviously a lot of mentorship that is going on between young men, especially in impoverished communities. And how do you think that now balances, now that you are so well-traveled and established, you're traveling a lot, but you're also in Philly a lot? Like, what is really taking up the most time?
For me, what takes up the most time is really just like training. Like I do this full time, so like now I'm really just trying to make sure that I'm on point at times, you know, because I don't know when someone's gonna book me, when I'm gonna get that call, you know. So I teach in 2 schools right now in the city, like 2 ghetto ass schools, you know what I mean? Like, but it's dope because I can relate to them. Like when they see me, usually they'll get like some white teacher. Not to say it's a problem with a white teacher, but like it's like some white teacher from the suburbs who doesn't understand them, doesn't know their culture. You know what I'm saying? They don't speak the language. You know, so I come in there and I can relate to these kids. I can make a connection with them, and they begin to care and they want to build doing this thing. You know, and that's powerful, man. So like, I'm doing that in 2 schools right now. I just established my LLC, Brkn LLC. I'm like working to get just my own individual students, like to connect more with the community. So like, I'm thinking of like going and volunteering at schools because we have no money for arts in Philadelphia. They took music, dance, all that out of school years ago. So now maybe I'll just go and volunteer for like an hour out of my week. What's an hour? Like, if you teach and you thinking about volunteering, just do it. What's an hour out of your week? But yeah, so I just want to do that to just like establish like a connection with the kids and eventually meet the parents and then let them know like, yo, this could change your kid's life. Like I'm from this community, you know what I mean? And I was worse than this kid. Like trust me, you get what I'm saying? So if it could do these things for me and could make me the person that I am today, then like there's no telling what it can do for them because now they have everything's way more advanced. So now the benefits are just there for them to reap.
That's so sick that you do all that, you know. Like I definitely didn't know that you work so hard in your own community, and I think that's one of the important things about maybe doing things like this is just giving everything a lot more depth to people. And you are the infamous Box One, and there are many boxes that I do see in the community just in terms of kind of groups that we put ourselves in. So maybe you're more concrete kind of guy or stereotypical stage monkey or something you said before. People that just teach, people that don't go to events, people that only go to events. And it seems to me that lots of people, they're forcing these boxes on themselves, but you seem to be Box One but remain boxless. Also, you're involved in Monster, you're involved in MCK, you're involved in your community. So just to speak to these younger B-boys or less knowledgeable B-boys, less well-connected B-boys, what can they do to not just combat that, but forget that and just engage with breaking?
I think you just said it perfectly. It was like just engage in breaking. Understand that like this is our tool, and you know, like it doesn't belong to us. You know, there's many people who share this tool. You know, so it's how do you use your tool? You get what I'm saying? I feel like if you remain rooted in that, and like I said earlier, with just like putting yourself into it, you know what I'm saying? Just know what you want out of it. Like, don't come into this game looking to be like, yo, I'm gonna be the illest power head. I'm like, because there's like 700 people that have already thought that same thing and they failed. So it's like, why limit yourself? Why not do anything? Just let this grow. Like, look at people like P. Diddy. Like, this dude started out as a dancer and then flourished into like the mogul he is today, because of just like letting that thing naturally carry him. You understand? Like, and as far as like breaking, like, I don't understand why you would want to limit yourself. You know, to say like, oh, I'm just a stage dude or I'm just a concrete dude. It's like, why would you limit yourself? You know, like, this is our thing for us to explore and understand to the best of our capability and then to share it. So, why would you want to limit yourself? Why be in the box? You know.
So today, yeah, we're at the Break Mission at B-Side Hip Hop Festival. You're gonna be in the solo battles, and so yeah, what's gonna happen today for you? How are you feeling? Like, what go on?
Yo, man, like I'm feeling good, man. The jet lag murdered me yesterday. Like I couldn't even go out and party. I just like fell asleep everywhere. I fell asleep again this morning. But yeah, like I do the solos today. I hate one-on-ones because I have no stamina, you know, because I'm heavy and it takes a lot to move. You know, they don't understand, bro. Like I'm 185. Like it's a lot to move and I'm quick. So, you know, I don't like one-on-ones for that reason. I'm also doing a 5-on-5 with Smack 19. You know, yeah, man. Carnage is he's doing Ramadan right now. Yeah, so you know, so I felt like it'd be honorable to step up in his place. Like, yo, he's down doing like his religious thing. Like, let me help my man out. Like, you know, so yeah.
Nice, man. So yeah, do you have any like thing you want to say just to people out there? But I really think, and I really want to make this an aim to people who are maybe not so involved in breaking or younger and are getting into it. What do you have to say to them? Just a few final words about what this culture really means to you.
To me, this culture is love, man. I mean, it's so hard to. People have always asked me this, and it's so hard for me to quantify it because it's just like the abundance of things it's done for me. You know, like it changed my perspective. It changed my approach to life. It saved my life. You know what I mean? Like it took me out of that circle, put me somewhere else. It taught me discipline. It taught me focus. You know, like, and you have to appreciate these things. Don't just look for what you can take and benefit from. Like, really appreciate just the grind and just the passion and the love for the dance. You know, like, to me, this is just everything, man. Like, for me to be able to go to another country, you know what I'm saying, where they don't speak where they speak my language, but I don't speak their language. You get what I'm saying? For them to welcome me as an outsider and just embrace me and take care of me and show me these things and share these things with me, like, that's powerful, man. That's love. You know, like, that's real life love. And, like, you got to respect that, and you have to treat that with, like, a certain delicacy. You know, like, don't take this thing for granted, because if there was no money involved, would you still do it? That's my question. That's my interview question. If there was no money involved in breaking, would you still do it?
Would you?
Hell yeah. I'd do this if it was just me and my 5 friends. Yeah? Yep. I'd do it with them all day. We'd get it in, you know?
All right. So, yeah, this has been me, Echo, for Brkn Nest with the Nest Mag. I'm here with my man, Ben, Box 1. Hope this has been, I don't know, cool for you, entertaining, whatever. For me, it's just another chance to speak to my brother.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, this is us. We're signing off. Peace to you. We'll see you at the jam. Peace.